What's going on, everybody? It's Ricky with Video Homicide, back with another movie recommendation. Today, we're going to go back to 1966, take a look at a film directed by Mario Bava. I don't actually own a physical copy of the film. I watched it on Shudder. That movie is Kill Baby Kill. Now, the first thing that I have to point out is, for the whole time, like probably an hour worth of the film, I sat there scratching my head saying, where the fuck is this lead guy from? I know he's from something, and I was thinking like one of those Nazi exploitation films. I knew I'd seen him in something, but I held off about an hour into the film. I was like, fuck it, I checked. He's the guy from Last Man on Earth, starring Vincent Price, which is a phenomenal film if you've not watched it, but he's the guy that goes, Morgan, and shout out to fucking Radioactive Blobfield. He included him in one of his comics in Cinema 187 issue 2, where he does a spoof on that film and includes that character. So that's the first thing that I got to say about the movie. And the second thing is, it was pretty goddamn good. It is another gothic-y horror film. If you've not watched any of Mario Bava's other films, I would recommend checking out Blood and Black Lace, which is very good, early Giallo film. This is an anthology film right here that has Boris Karloff as sort of the guy telling the stories. Mario Bava directed this trio of blood-curdling creepers, each introduced by Boris Karloff. The first tells the story of a nurse who steals jewels from a corpse, then must face the dead, woman's wrath, face the dead woman's wrath. Her wretched, startling death mask will have you screaming louder than her on-screen victim. Then it's off to visit with a prostitute who's receiving some very disturbing phone calls. They're obscene, hostile, collect calls from hell. Karloff stars in the concluding yard, based on a story by Chekhov. The Woodrock presents a very disturbed family. The clan's patriarch has just returned from a long journey with sunken eyes and a very blue pallor, whatever the fuck that means. But like just that line alone, they're obscene, hostile, collect calls from hell. Like the guy that wrote this was probably like, fuck yeah. This is put out by Hellfire Video, by the way. This was one of my Uncle Mike's tapes that he would have ordered back in the day. It's from 1995, this particular release. So pretty cool stuff. The next movie that I got from Bava is Bay of Blood. Really good stuff. I don't know if I made a video about this or not, but if I didn't, I definitely will in the future. This is from Redemption, right? Yeah, this is put out by Redemption. So I think that they were in cahoots with Kino eventually, but these tapes, like I used to kind of see a lot in the wild, but now I never see them. I have a few of them from Kino, or Redemption. Now, the other thing that Mario Bava might be known for that you may or may not know about or have heard of, his son directed some really good films in the genre. So here's one called Macabre, which is phenomenal. I actually got this at a pawn shop years ago. It's put out by Anchor Bay, of course. The OG Anchor Bay titles that, had the movie poster and all that stuff. This is like when I really seriously got collecting movies. I was like, oh, I want to get all the Anchor Bays. And then, you discover like Blue Underground and all that kind of shit. And you're like, fuck, I need to get all these. And it's just, I shout out guys like Moods and others like that separate their collections by companies. It's definitely a cool way to go about it. I just don't have enough of each company to sort of do that. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I have opted out to go alphabetical with the entire collection of all genres, but I haven't really, I stopped basically at F. Once I got to F, I was like, all right, I'll take a break. Now it's been months. But the other films that his son Lamberto Bava did were the Demons films, which are phenomenal. I've actually got a demon patch on the back of my jacket. Might not be able to see that good enough, but phenomenal film. The first one especially takes place in a movie theater. This is not the preferred cover, by the way. I have this movie on tape. I've actually got 2 copies of it because I'm a fucking hoarder of VHS tape. So there's 2 different copies of Demons, both like cut copies or whatever the fuck you want to call that. But the one tape, I believe, yeah, the second tape is actually suffering from mold on the tape. That can be fixed. It's a trying process, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But I if I'm gonna watch this, I'm gonna watch the fucking Blu-ray. You know what I'm saying? I got a tape of the second one as well kicking around somewhere here, but Bava is definitely a staple in Italian horror that I need to introduce myself into more of. So, like I said, we popped on Kill Baby Kill tonight, and like I said, it was a good flick. It's a gothic flick. It's about this doctor that's going to do an autopsy on this girl in this small town. Of course, they're very superstitious, and all goes to hell pretty quick, of course, and people are getting murdered. Like, for 1966, there's some pretty good kills in this. The story's pretty basic. Like I said, there's nothing really to write home about. I feel like it's very formulaic and stuff, but the thing about this movie that stands out so much is the fucking camera work. Like, it is very technical. There's a lot of moving shots, sweeping shots that you sort of associate with guys like Mario Bava, and it's really a spectacle to see, like, how skilled and like every aspect of this film is like handmade. Like, the set design is handmade, all of the props around, like, there's no fucking green screen, or like the guy that goes Morgan in the fucking Vincent Price movie, he's not looking at a tennis ball on a stick to represent the little dead girl, because basically what's happening in this little town is there's this dead girl's ghost that's killing fucking people, making them kill themselves. Basically, the one girl, she like walks into I had to look it up, like what it is. It's like in the Wikipedia thing it says candelabre. She walks into this sharp thing, it fucking stabs her. Everyone's basically getting stabbed to death in this film in one way or another. There's this cool thing with this bell. So basically, like, the little girl, I think she got trampled by horses and then was like ringing this bell. So now whenever this bell rings in the town, like, they know someone's gonna die. Good stuff. Basically, good stuff happens when this bell rings. But you got some really cool moments where you got like guys digging graves, which I always love in films. Like, whenever I see people digging graves in films, I always go back to 1935, baby, Bride of Frankenstein. Those two guys, one of them's played by Dwight Fry, who was Fritz in Frankenstein, the original one, but they play like Pretorius's ghoul, or like they're his fucking goons that go and dig up the bodies and all that stuff. But nonetheless, Mario Bava, Lucio Fulci, Dario Argento, Sergio Martino. There's so many of these good quality filmmakers from Italy of that time, man. Like, the fucking late 60s all the way into like the early 80s. There's just so much good stuff put out, and I'm stoked to be able to have like a collection like this behind me, man, because every once in a while you sort of take it for granted, because like I'm not constantly in here watching these fucking movies all the time, but it's nice to know that they're here. And when I do want to watch one, I can pull one off. And like, for instance, Demons being one of my favorites, chock full of special of what the fuck's it called? Special features. Actually, this one's not really. There's a fucking transfer, updated transfer, whatever. But you get the idea. Home media is home video, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Physical media, if you want to be fucking nerdy about it. It's the shit. It's the absolute shit. Between books, movies, all this stuff. Before I go here, I quickly want to plug the zine Cinema 187. Message me if you want to get a copy. At cinema.187 on Instagram. I'm very limited on what I have for 187. As a matter of fact, I don't think I have much. I don't even have a full set anymore for sale. I do have like about like 6 copies of issue 4, which is the Video Nasty special. I have some more of those that are in black and white, but the color ones are the ones that I'm really trying to push. 5 copies of issue 1 of Cinema 187, and then there's only 1 copy left of number 5, which is the latest and greatest. And upcoming in around Halloween time, Cinema 187 issue 666 will be available for purchase as well. So of course, these zines always come with stickers. They always come with extra comics, Filthy Ralph comics, stuff like that. So I appreciate everybody that does take part and buy the zines. It supports the fucking, it supports me being able to get these things made and, get them shipped out and stuff like that. Because it's a very time-consuming process making these, but I absolutely love it. So wouldn't trade it for the world, baby. And real quick, we'll share a couple of cool comics that I pulled off the fucking shelf the other night. So these right here are sort of known comics books put out by Marvel or Curtis. But there's like they don't sneeze at these because they come from Walmart, because they come from Marvel, man. There's some fucking S. Clay Wilson in here. There's some quality shit, man. And the other thing I want to quickly point out is this Freddy Krueger comic put out by Marvel back in the day. The back of issue 1 is so plain, but I totally forgot about this. The back of issue 2 has a fucking piece of Freddy Krueger by Sam Keith of the Max fame. So really, really cool shit, man. It pays to like it pays to not go through your shit for a while, and then you go through it and you're like, dude, I forgot I had all this fucking wicked stuff. So like, I'm in the process of going through a bunch of particularly magazines right now, and yeah, there's some crazy stuff. I still have an entire short box of magazines I haven't went through yet. So the shelf is coming together. But with that being said, I won't keep you any longer. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Check out some good Italian films. You know, like I said, the winter's coming, the fall is coming, so you really want to toss on like those Universal Monsters films. Those, you know, you want to put on the Blob, you want to put on fucking the Hammer Dracula films, and I got a whole stash of Hammer Dracula stuff, so expect reviews of that coming in October. I don't know if I'm going to be doing 31 days of horror, but if I was going to, it would definitely include some Hammer stuff. But again, I can't make any promises on that. 31 days of horror is not for the faint of heart, so we'll leave it at that. 666 in the comments, and adios.